I've gotten mad comments about this shirt that I wear in a lot of my videos. This one. What you may not know is I made this. And if you want one, you can have one. I have an online merch store with spreadshirt.com. You don't want this one? How about this one? Or maybe even this one. That's my face. There's a bunch of different designs and you can pick whatever size or color you want. There is a link in the description below for you to check them all out. Thanks for all your support, and now on to the video. Human beings have a tendency to be dramatic and emotional, and a lot of us get a little bit anxious when we're faced with the twists and turns and changes that life throws at us. But sometimes if you just sit back and take a deep breath, you'll realize that some of these things don't have to be such a big deal. Here are 3 of those things. One thing that routinely baffles me is how people will wake up every morning and go do a shitty job that they absolutely hate. Their boss is overbearing, their coworkers are obnoxious, and they go do this for like 40 or even more hours per week. That's masochism. Now, I understand you gotta get paid, but millions of people do jobs every day that aren't soul crushing, and there's no reason why you can't too. Even if your job isn't particularly bad, I've heard of people with strong passions and talents that have no time or energy to pursue those passions because they're fucking working all the time doing some job that they couldn't care less about. I think a lot of times people are afraid of breaking the routine. They like the stability and security of that constant paycheck and they don't want to mess that up. But it's okay, you don't have to leave immediately, but you can start making plans if you're in a place that you don't want to be. You can start interviewing for other jobs, you can start saving up your money. No one is asking you to just give up a paycheck without having a backup plan. But if you're doing something that makes you dread waking up in the morning or that is holding you back from your passion, it's okay. People quit their jobs all the time. Everything will be alright. Now, if you've been subscribed to me for any extended period of time, you have probably heard me talk about this before. I get people asking me all the time, why are you single? As if being in a relationship is somehow a necessary aspect of being a successful human being. Sometimes people freak out when they're single, like they feel like they're failing at life, especially those who have been in relationships for most of their life. And then once they get single, they think to themselves, what am I doing wrong? But in reality, you're not doing anything wrong. Well, if you think about it, given the sheer amount of different types of human beings in the world, you are statistically unlikely to find a romantic partner with whom you are compatible. If you do, you're pretty much lucky, which is why the idea that if you're not in a relationship, you're doing something wrong is dumb. Relax, friends. Being single is fine. Wanting a relationship is fine too, but don't think that you're incomplete or doing something wrong if you haven't got one, because that's dumb. This is something that I personally have to remind myself all the time because I can be sort of a hoarder. You know how it is, you never want to throw anything away because it's like, what if I need it later? Or what if I can use it for a cool future project or something? And then next thing you know, you got a bunch of fucking garbage everywhere. For example, pretty recently I caught myself hoarding cardboard boxes because I was like, you never know when you're gonna need a cardboard box. And I just ended up with like 20 broken down cardboard boxes in the corner of my room, and it was very unsightly and stupid. And one day I was just like, fuck that, and I just got rid of all of them. And it was surprisingly painless. I also learned that if you actually do need a cardboard box, it's not even that hard to get one. I'm not saying throw away stuff that is meaningful and important to you, but you'd be surprised how painless it is to get rid of that stuff that you know you're really not going to use anyway. Now, sometimes all of the above can actually affect you in a major way, but in general, if you're faced with something that makes you feel a little bit nervous or a little bit inadequate, just take a step back for a second and think to yourself, is it really the end of the world? You'd be surprised how often it isn't. Is there anything that you see other people stressing about that you think is not that big a deal? Let me know in the comments. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to all of the new subscribers. How you doing? If you like the video, please press the like button and subscribe if you like my hair. Holla.